What if the reality you live in, the one you're so certain of, isn't real? What if everything you see, feel, and believe is simply a masterpiece painted by your mind? Would you question it, or cling to the comfort of what feels true? At every moment, your mind is building an entire world, piecing together fragments of information from the external environment. But here's the catch: the information is incomplete. To make sense of it, your mind fills in the gaps with assumptions, memories, and expectations. It happens so seamlessly that you rarely notice it, let alone question it. Yet this process holds the profound truth. The reality you experience isn't fixed. It's a creation of your consciousness. Think about it. Two people can share the same event but walk away with completely different experiences. Take a rainy day, for example. For you, the rain might mean inconveniences, traffic delays, canceled plans, or dreary skies that match your mood. But for a child, the very same rain could mean puddles to jump in, mud to play with, and a chance for adventure. The external reality, the rain, remains unchanged, but the internal reality? Entirely different. This divergence happens because your mind isn't a passive observer of the world, it's an active creator. It doesn't just reflect reality, it interprets, filters, and even projects onto it. Every belief you hold, every value you cherish, every memory you've stored acts like a lens, shaping how you see and experience the world. It's as if each of us is living in our own personal movie, where the plot, the characters, and even the setting are shaped by the unique perspectives we bring to life. Have you ever wondered, is your blue the same blue someone else sees? Is your truth the same as theirs? Pause for a moment and really think about that. The deeper you reflect, the more you realize just how fluid and subjective reality is. What you perceive as solid and unchanging is actually shaped by the invisible filters of your mind. These filters don't just influence how you see the world, they determine how you feel about it, how you interpret it, and how you respond to it. The power of belief. What's most fascinating and empowering is how much influence your beliefs hold over your experience of the world. If you believe the world is dangerous, your mind will constantly seek evidence to confirm that belief. You'll notice the risks, the threats, and the things that could go wrong. At the same time, your mind will filter out any evidence to the contrary, acts of kindness, opportunities, or safety. On the other hand, if you believe the world is full of opportunities, your mind will naturally tune in to the things that align with that vision. You'll notice the open doors, the acts of generosity, and the possibilities waiting to be explored. This concept is known as confirmation bias, and it operates behind the scenes, shaping your reality in ways you don't even realize. Your beliefs act like a magnet, pulling in experiences that match them while repelling those that don't. But here's the empowering truth. Your reality isn't just what happens to you, it's how you interpret what happens to you. And that interpretation is something you can change. Questioning the lens. Your beliefs are the foundation of your reality, but they don't work alone. They form the lens through which you interpret the world, and this lens is often clouded by assumptions. To reshape your reality, you must first learn to question these assumptions. Ask yourself, what stories am I telling myself about my life, my relationships, or my potential? Are these stories empowering me or holding me back? What would happen if I chose to see things differently? For example, imagine you're having a bad day. Something goes wrong at work, and your mind starts spinning a familiar narrative. I'm not good enough. I always mess things up. Nothing ever goes right for me. Pause and challenge that story. Is it true? Or is it just a default script your mind is playing? Could there be another way to interpret the situation? The act of questioning isn't about ignoring reality. It's about expanding your perspective. It's about recognizing that there are multiple ways to experience the same event and choosing the one that empowers you the most. A simple but powerful practice. One of the most effective ways to start reshaping your reality is to keep a perception journal. At the end of each day, reflect on two moments. A moment that brought you joy, a moment that made you feel frustrated, sad, or upset. For each moment, ask yourself, what belief or assumption influenced how I felt in that moment? Could I have interpreted it differently? For example, let's say someone cut you off in traffic and it ruined your mood. Your initial belief might be, they're selfish and rude, but what if you considered another possibility? Maybe they were late for an important appointment, or maybe they simply didn't see you. Suddenly, the frustration begins to melt away, and you regain control of your emotional state. Over time, this practice helps you uncover the hidden patterns shaping your reality. You'll begin to notice which beliefs are serving you and which ones are holding you back. And with that awareness, you can start to reshape them. The artist of your reality. Here's the most beautiful part. Your reality isn't fixed. It's more like a canvas, a work of art in constant evolution. Every thought, every belief, every choice you make is a brushstroke, adding color, depth, and meaning to your experience of the world. So, what kind of masterpiece will you create? Will you paint a life filled with fear, limitation, and doubt? Or will you choose bold, vibrant strokes of possibility, growth, and wonder? The choice is yours, but it begins with a single step, the decision to take ownership of your reality. Start small, question your assumptions, challenge your beliefs. Look at the world with fresh eyes, because the truth is, you're not just a character in this story, you're the author, and the pen has always been in your hand. Reality is not a rigid, unchanging entity. It's fluid, dynamic, and deeply personal. It's shaped not by what happens to you, but by how you choose to see and interpret it. So, pause, reflect, and ask yourself, what beliefs are shaping my world right now? Are they lifting me up or holding me back? Remember, every day is a blank canvas, and you, the artist, hold the brush. The more you understand how your mind constructs reality, the more power you have to create a life that feels authentic, meaningful, and aligned with your deepest truths. Picture this. Your mind is like a detective, constantly piecing together a story from fragments of evidence. It's on a relentless quest to solve the mystery of reality. But here's the twist. The evidence is rarely complete. Gaps exist in every moment, and to make sense of them, your mind fills them in with assumptions, guesses, and projections. And just like that, your personal version of reality is born, not as it truly is, but as your mind imagines it to be. This mental process is automatic, subtle, and almost imperceptible, yet its influence on your life is profound. Your mind craves clarity and certainty. When it encounters the unknown, it doesn't leave the gaps empty. It fills them with what it already knows, your past experiences, beliefs, expectations, and fears. Sometimes this instinct serves you well, especially in situations that require quick decisions, but it can also lead to distortions, stories that feel real but are based on shaky foundations. These stories shape your emotions, your actions, and even your relationships with others and yourself. How assumptions shape your reality. Let's explore how this plays out in your daily life. Imagine a friend walking past you without saying hello. Instantly, your mind begins crafting a story. Perhaps it whispers, "They're upset with me. I must have done something wrong." Or maybe, "They're ignoring me. They don't care about me anymore." These assumptions may feel real, but are they true? What if your friend simply didn't see you, or was lost in thought, preoccupied with their own struggles? In this moment, your mind isn't observing reality, it's projecting it. And this projection doesn't just stop at your interpretation of the event, it spills over into your emotions, hurt, anger, insecurity, and your actions, pulling away, avoiding the friend, or confronting them. This same tendency shows up in the digital world. Think about social media. You scroll through your feed and see a photo of someone smiling on a beach. Your mind fills in the gaps. They're so happy. Their life is perfect. But is that really the whole picture? What you're seeing is just a snapshot, a carefully curated moment, not the full story. Yet without realizing it, you compare your life to this incomplete image, and the story your mind writes can leave you feeling inadequate or envious. The impact on self-image. Assumptions don't just shape how you see others, they profoundly impact how you see yourself. Think about a time when you made a mistake. Did your mind whisper a familiar story? I'm not good enough. I always mess things up. I'll never succeed? These quiet, insistent voices can feel like undeniable truth, but they're not. They're just stories. Stories your mind has written over time, slowly eroding your confidence and building invisible walls that limit your growth. But here's the truth you need to hear. You are not your mistakes, and you are not the stories your mind tells in moments of doubt. But here's the truth. Your mind is like a screenwriter, constantly crafting the story of your life. And the script it writes isn't always accurate. It's filled with assumptions, speculations, and hasty conclusions. The good news? You can rewrite the script. Breaking free from assumptions. The first step to breaking free is awareness. You can't change what you don't notice. Start by paying attention to the stories your mind is telling. When you feel bothered, anxious, or upset, pause and ask yourself, what assumption am I making right now? Is this story the only possible explanation? What other perspectives could I consider? Let's revisit the earlier example of a friend walking past you. Instead of automatically assuming they're upset with you, ask yourself, could they be distracted? Could they be having a tough day? Could this have nothing to do with me at all? Simply entertaining these possibilities can dissolve negative emotions and open the door to healthier interactions. Learning to sit with uncertainty. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Not every gap needs to be filled. Your mind's instinct to resolve ambiguity is natural, but it isn't always necessary. Reality is a complex puzzle, and not all the pieces are available at once. The key is to learn to live with uncertainty, to embrace the unknown instead of rushing to fill it with assumptions. This requires practice, but it's liberating. By resisting the urge to immediately solve every situation, you create space for curiosity and openness. You stop reacting to imagined stories and start responding to what's actually happening. Practical tools for liberation. To loosen the grip of assumptions and mental constructs, try these practices. Mindfulness. When you feel a strong emotion, anger, frustration, sadness, pause. Instead of acting on the emotion, observe it. Ask yourself, what story is fueling this feeling? Mindfulness helps you see your thoughts as transient mental events rather than fixed truths. Reframing assumptions. The next time you catch yourself making an assumption, challenge it. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, I messed up, I'm a failure, reframe it. I made a mistake, but that doesn't define me. Mistakes are opportunities to learn. The power of curiosity. Approach situations with a sense of curiosity rather than judgment. When you feel hurt or confused, ask questions. What else could this mean? What don't I know about this situation? Meditation. Set aside time each day to sit with your thoughts. Notice how they come and go, like clouds passing through the sky. This practice helps you detach from your assumptions and recognize their impermanence. Owning your role as the author. As you become more aware of your mind's storytelling tendencies, a profound realization emerges. You are the author of your own experience. This understanding shifts the focus from external circumstances to your internal responses. It empowers you to take ownership of your perceptions, interpretations, and actions. Instead of blaming the world for your struggles, you begin to see how much of your reality is shaped by your own mind. This doesn't mean denying the challenges or injustices of the external world. It means recognizing that your power lies in how you choose to respond to them. The 3 steps to liberation. Acceptance. Accept that your reality is a mental construction. This isn't about resignation, it's about empowerment. By acknowledging that your mind shapes your experience, you take the first step toward reshaping it. Self-knowledge. The more you understand your values, beliefs, and thought patterns, the easier it becomes to recognize how your mind is shaping your reality. Practices like journaling, meditation, and self-reflection are invaluable tools for self-discovery. Transformation. With awareness and self-knowledge, you can begin to transform the beliefs and habits that limit you. Start small, set goals aligned with your values, practice gratitude, and surround yourself with people who inspire and uplift you. The endless journey. Liberating yourself from illusion is a continuous journey. It requires dedication, patience, and self-compassion. But it's a journey worth taking because with every assumption you challenge, with every belief you transform, you reclaim a bit more of your freedom. Reality is not a fixed, unchanging entity. It's a canvas, and your mind is the painter. The stories you tell, the assumptions you make, the beliefs you hold, all of these shape the masterpiece of your life. So, pause, reflect, and ask yourself, what kind of story do I want to create? What colors will I choose for my canvas? The journey begins with a single step, the decision to take ownership of your reality. Embrace the unknown, question your assumptions, and step into the role of the artist of your own life.